What's up, y'all? Welcome back. I'm Van. We are all the LFR family. I'm only talking because I wanted to say big shout out to Mr. Truck 1012. You sent me a MAGA hat. You sent me a MAGA hat. So I did a video of it, and hopefully you guys see it, man. All right, so this joint right here is the third failed impeachment trial of Trump, and I believe they're talking about the trial about the insurrection, January 6th, and I believe they're trying to demonize Trump and Trumpers for, I guess, a statement that they believe was made saying go and get Mike Pence and lynch him because he's part of the problem or something like that, and he's part of the reason why Trump didn't win, or he wasn't standing up for it or against it. A whole bunch of BS, be honest with you. But that's what this is. Now, I do want y'all to know this. When a person like myself see this type of news coverage of something like January 6th and them trying to really go into the deep parts of it and try to tie it into one side or the other, what this makes it look like is all conservatives are crazy. They make it look like all conservatives are wild, and don't care about the country, only want what you want and could care less about anyone else. But my question is, because it's like beating a dead horse, in my opinion. My love goes out to anybody who passed away or was hurt during this whole insurrection. But there's so many other things that we should be spending our time on. Like, look at the gas prices right now. Look at what the children are being taught in schools right now. Look at all of the killings all over the United States right now. I mean, it's so much going on. So we need to consider those things. We're talking about putting gun laws in place, and as if that's going to help. But the places where the gun laws are already in place, that's where we get the most homicides throughout the entire country. So it's like it's a constant beating of the same drum, nothing else, and I get tired of it. So that's why I'm checking out what I'm checking out. People wonder why I'm checking out what I'm checking out. It's like, why would I constantly make myself go through what I'm going through and I'm not learning anything? I'm just becoming more and more and more and more angry and more and more and more and more ignorant because I'm not learning anything. All right, let's go.
We should tell you, and as we said at the top, this is the only hour on American television that is not broadcasting unfiltered propaganda into the homes of unsuspecting viewers. On the screen, you see 8 boxes. Those are 8 different TV channels taking the Nancy Pelosi feed unfiltered. Now, if at any time in your life you've ever made fun of totalitarian regimes that, broadcast lies into the homes of the population that they can't turn off, take a look at that. That's happening right now. Meanwhile, gas is over $5. Inflation is higher than it's been in the lifetime of most Americans. Violent crime is making cities impossible to live in, and more than 100,000 Americans OD'd on drugs last year.
Sheesh, maybe I am conservative. Oh my gosh, man. Oh Lord, because he just touched on all the stuff. Well, he touched on some things I didn't say, but pretty much the same things. And I didn't even think about the ODing on drugs thing. That's because I don't know a lot about that. I need to get into that. Okay.
Possible to live in, and more than 100,000 Americans OD'd on drugs last year. Why isn't there a primetime hearing about any of that? Charlie Hurt is the opinion editor of the Washington Times. He joins us tonight. Charlie, great to see you. I mean, if you take 3 steps back, what we're really watching is members of Congress talking about themselves again.
Yeah, absolutely, because the alternative is for them to have to talk about policies. And if they talk about policies, they have to talk about and it's not just their failures of, all the failures we see right in front of us, gas prices, crime, an open border, fentanyl deaths. You can go through, the list is endless. And if anybody got out of Washington, any of these people got out of Washington and talked to normal people, they would realize that American people are very, very concerned about a lot of things. This is not one of them. But then you step back even farther and you look at the just the cavalcade of lies that Democrat politicians have made in their promises to get elected ever since even before Joe Biden came to Washington. Whether it's
I like that word cavalcade. It's an idiotic reason to stop the video in the middle of my man talking, but cavalcade, I need to look that up. I would like to install that into my vocabulary. Yeah, cavalcade. That's a pretty cool word. I've never in my life heard anyone say cavalcade. Cavalcade. Now I have to look up a word that I don't even know how to spell. I gotta pronounce it. I gotta cavalcade. Cavalcade. Not sure why I stopped it there, but yeah, I am. It's the word cavalcade.
even before Joe Biden came to Washington, whether it's solving health care problems for poor people, ending poverty, or providing public education to people. They failed on all of these fronts. And the reason and I call this the third failed impeachment trial of Donald J. Trump. The reason they have to talk about this stuff is because they can't talk about those other issues. They have to distract everybody from. But then it's even crazier than that, because when you get to the issue of security and you start thinking about what people, whose businesses were destroyed in these riots that Democrats supported in the year running up to the election, and you think about the security, think about the parents whose children, they fear for their children going into an elementary school today. And Democrats control both chambers.
And that's not because of any shootings. That's because of what they're teaching. That's because how teachers are presenting themselves to the kids, how they are trying to boost the children's maturity levels. They're trying to show them things and expose them to things that they are not ready for. That's why people are afraid for their children to go into these elementary schools. And now we have another thing on top of it, that there are idiots out there who are just ridiculous enough to go into a school and cause harm to children. So that's another reason. So yeah, that's a whole bunch of stuff that they could be running this trial for. I don't know how long it was because I didn't look at it. I should have covered it last night. That would have been the smartest thing to do as a content creator. But I have no interest in it whatsoever.
Children going into an elementary school today. And Democrats control both chambers of Congress and the White House. They have not done a damn thing to protect children in schools.
Yeah.
Beyond that, the third branch of government, the judiciary, we have Supreme Court justices living under the threat of their family being assassinated, and Nancy Pelosi will do nothing about it. All she can talk about is this day a year and a half ago when she was afraid, or they were afraid, of some goofball trespassing nutty rioters coming through the Capitol. I think that what we're seeing, and I think all this is going to backfire. And I think what we're seeing right here, and I think it's great. I mean, that image you just showed of all the networks of obedient people, obedient networks showing this thing on command. I think what we're seeing is the final swirling of credibility for the media and Democrats going down the drain. I think they're going to pay a price, and I think this spectacle right here is going to make it even worse for them, because the difference between their concern here and the concern about anybody else, including school children in elementary schools, it's breathtaking.
You and I entered journalism about the same time, over 30 years ago. It seemed honorable then. It seems completely shameful now. It really does. Shameful. Charlie Hurt, I appreciate you coming on. Thank you.
It really is, because it's difficult for someone who don't really lean to either side to get an objective view from media anymore. Everyone has pretty much dug their feet in the sand in their positions that they take. And it's like you're being sold a narrative. And if you're and while being sold the narrative, you're also trying to scare the hell out of you so that you can hurry up and pick a side. Hurry up. And it's BS, man. It's unfortunate because I don't know, man. I don't know. This is ridiculous. Yeah, this is ridiculous. I want to hear what you all have to say about this in the comments below. And if you have yet to hit that subscribe button, please make sure you do so on your way out the door. Once again, guys, I'm Van, and now we are all the LFR family, and I look forward to seeing you on the next video. Hopefully inside the Patreon as well. Y'all have been amazing, man. Love y'all.